Simen Tov Kuf Nun Aleph. This year is a special kvias. And kvias is that this Shabbos is Shivas B'Tammuz, and it's a nitche.
And we've got to make we can eat.
Yeah. So there's a special din for a nitche, which we're going to learn right now. And the Rebbe had a big koch in every year that there was a nitche, because near Tov Reish Mem there was a kvias like this year, and the Rebbe Marash was very besimcha. And the Rebbe Marash said, "Given the nitche, halavai she'edoche lagamri." Halavai she'edoche lagamri. Halavai she'edoche lagamri. And the Rebbe used to koch in this kvias like this year. The Rebbe used to bring that the Gemara says machloikis Rebbe and Chachamim. Rebbe said about Tisha B'Av Shcholos b'Shabbos, "Kiven shenitche yedoche." Again, look, that was pushed away. It was pushed away. We didn't start yet, Mr. Gali. Introduction.
But this is the right. This
Yeah. You got the right paper. Yeah.
That's why they gave it to you.
Yeah, here. So the Rebbe Marash was very excited about this kvias, and he said, "Alavai she'edoche lagamri." So the Rebbe says that the Mishnah really has a machloikis about Tisha B'Av, and Rebbe said, "Kiven shenitche yedoche lagamri." Chacham disagree. What's the machloikis? The Rebbe said that in a fast, there's two things in the fast. The main thing of a fast is that it's a Yom Rotzen Lashem. The second thing in the fast is that a person has to fast. Two separate dinim. There's a whole question when a fast gets nitche.
In other words, maybe it's like what Rabbi Tzibur or the Chuya. Maybe there's no such thing as the Chuya really.
Right. So the Achronim that talk about it, they say if it was pushed off, so you should still do the Avelus Shabbatinam. Dvarim Shabbatinam. They say no. If it's pushed off, it's pushed off.
Well,
So-
Shabbos, what you
Shabbos, they can't do Avelas
They
even.
say even then,
Things that are not published.
Avelos with sinner things. If a not doesn't overkeep things with sinner, when he's a bit over.
A Shabbos, yeah, a Shabbos.
So the Achronim talk about it. Yeah. So like Shivas B'Tammuz, like in this year's kvias, not everyone agrees that because it starts with Shabbos, as we'll learn now, so it's different. It's like whatever didn't kick in yet. But the general opinion is the Rebbe says that a tainus has two parts to it. It's a Yom Rotzen Lashem. It's a special day. It's a Yom Rotzen Lashem, and the Rebbe with this the Rebbe says a beautiful word. It says a Mashiach will come, v'afachti es Evlon, and it will be Sosum v'Simcha and Moyedim. B'choyde, I don't understand. If there was a Churban Mesa Mikdash, it would be rebuilt. So Tisha B'Av is not a significant day anymore. Why is it a special day? Why is Tisha B'Av greater than the 10th day of Av or the 12th day of Av? Now it's a significant day because that was the day of the Churban. But once the base of Mikdash is rebuilt, what's the difference between Rosh Hashanah and Tisha B'Av? It's another day in the calendar. There's going to be a bigger karbonis. Elamai says the Rebbe, because a day of a fast is a Yom Rotzen Lashem. It's a special day. It's a unique day, and that doesn't change. Even if we won't fast, it's still a Yom Rotzen Lashem. It's not going to become a less Yom Rotzen Lashem. So therefore, Rebbe, the Gemara says that Rebbe, before he died, he said that he never had from an Etzba Ktana nor from Olam Haza. Even though he was so wealthy, he never had a no even be'etzba Ktana. So to Rebbe HaKodesh that if Tisha B'Av is on Shabbos, so the Yom Rotzen we had, right? What do we need? That the person should connect the Yom Rotzen. So Mistama the Yid that day will eat in a way of L'chayos and Marov, that they're not going to be nen that day from the food. Agash Mizikanoah, so they were already Mekayim, whatever, it's the Gavra was already done, it's a Yom Rotzen, what do we need anymore? Chacham said no, it doesn't work that way. It's Taka, the fast is a Yom Rotzen Lashem, but we need the Gavra, the man has to fast.
How do we know it's Yom Rotzen? How do we know that Tisha B'Av is Yom Rotzen?
Because no.
Or any fast day is Yom Rotzen.
Right, yeah, exactly. The Alter Rebbe brings it to Tanya, we learned it yesterday or the day before. Halozet Tikra Yom Rotzen Lashem. The Novi is talking about a fast day. And he says a fast day is called a Yom Rotzen Lashem.
So why plus Lovely will that be still a Yom Rotzen? Because it won't be a fast. And then what's Rotzen about it?
That day you will go to the oil, it won't be the oil anymore.
Fine, but I'm saying that what's Is it the day itself that Shavuos kosher?
Yeah.
Meaning, because the Alter says that when the Eibster shows Gvura, that's really the highest form of Chesed.
Exactly.
So is that also a reason why it's Ratzon?
I guess, yeah.
So maybe
It's
that's
gonna be
why.
like a Yom Tov.
So Las Love, because the Eibster showed us the greatest amount of Chesed that he could have by giving us in Gvura, so that's why Las Love, not because we fast on it,
Not because we fast. No, nothing to do with the fast.
because of the iris that are coming down.
Because the itis. So that was the big koch. The Rebbe, all the years that the Rebbe had in the Kviyas, this Kviyas the Rebbe used to talk about it. Given the Nitche
Biggest that
Yedocha.
what? That
Comes out on
Shavasa,
Shabbos.
Shavasa.
specifically Shavasa B'Tamas.
Yeah.
so
Same thing
Tisha
Tisha B'Av.
Oh,
Same
that
thing
it
Tisha B'Av.
lines up.
Yeah.
And Tisha, it's 3 weeks later. And Tisha B'Av
Right.
comes. So what do? We fast on Sunday.
Good. But the Vaila we daven on Shabbos, that Kivin Sheyitche Halavai Sheyedocha Lagamri. So now let's learn a little halacha where you see about how this Shabbos is different than a regular Shiva Asa B'Tamas. First, I'd like to ask a question. People ask this question all the time, and I once gave a shiur about it, and this was 7 or 8 years ago, and it was about the 7 weeks of Sfiras Omer. But today we'll talk about the 3 weeks. But people ask all the time. Women ask, can I go shopping? Can I not go shopping? Can I go order online? Can I get things delivered to my house? V'chulei, v'chulei. Can I put on new clothing? It's a very common shaila. Halacha Yud Zayin. Toiv lihizoyer. Toiv lihizoyer. It's not absolute halacha, but it's a zehirus that's brought in the name of the Sefer Chassidim and the Chuvas Maril. It's not a Gemara. Toiv lihizoyer. Meloi meshachyono bein hametzorim. We should be nizer not to say shachyono bein hametzorim. Al pri or al malbush. Not in a pri chodesh and not in a malbush chodesh. Nishti or nishtiyana. You don't. Aval al pidyon haben oimet. But on pidyon haben you do say. V'lo yachmetz a mitzvah. You shouldn't be mechametz the mitzvah. We say that there's a emach mitzvah ala mitzvahs. You shouldn't. You have an opportunity to make shachiyanu. You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Rabbi Yochanan is the one who makes the
Right. You shouldn't be machmetz. Which mitzvah? Obviously, he's going to do the pidyon haben, but the opportunity to say shachiyanu is it's a special mitzvah to have the opportunity to say shachiyanu.
What about?
Like the Gemara says in Yerushalmi, that Rebbe Lezer was very poor, and he used to save up prutas. He used to save up coin in order to buy new fruits from the new season. Why? In order to be able to make the bracha shechiyanu. So a person shouldn't be machmetz. That's what he says. Weiter, zog der Ramah. Lachem bepri shelo yimtza acher tisha b'yov muter la'ochloi levorech u'li'ochloi bein hametzorim. Also a fruit that he's not going to find after Tisha B'Av. It's mutter to go ahead and make a shechiyanu. I just want one more din to learn because it'll be negated. We'll discuss later. It's a tzarich lezorim meshivas b'tamas at Tisha B'Av sheleilech yichidim ates medalachos ateshos. Certain hours in the day not to go
I
yichid.
thought that's only the 9 days.
No.
No, it says here it should be also the time.
Mishum shebehem ketev mediri shoyle. V'lo yakwa talmidim b'yomim ahem. You shouldn't get patch.
I'd get me some.
No, I'm a gitnish can patch, eh?
Today they called 911. When I was a little boy, I could get patch. Today they don't get it. And I wasn't smart enough to go 911. Not my father heard I got
maybe
patch.
they
He helped.
didn't have
He helped the Rebbe. He
911.
gave me.
This is before the they didn't have
Yochanan, they didn't have
But wait, what's
No,
the
they
reason like
How do they call the police? Oh,
Why?
for zero.
Talk about it.
So
They called the police precinct. For the police precinct.
Oh, zero. The dial with the down code, zero. Get me the police.
Okay, let's learn the Magen Avraham. Zog the Magen Avraham, I underlined it. This is the small lines. It's very small, and all the copy machine that didn't come out, the Yad Ephraim, the Dogel Mervavot, Chassam Sofer, the Shari Tshuva, everything didn't come out good, so I'll have to say it about that. But just the Magen Avraham. The Magen Avraham, look in the first of the small lines, I underlined it. Meloi Meshechionu. So he says, B'Shabbos Shori. B'Shabbos it's mutter. But Kisvei Arizal also afilu b'Shabbos. Kisvei Arizal says it's also even b'Shabbos. The Rebbe said to the Mordechai Eliyahu and the Yechidus that the minhag Chabad is that even though in the 3 weeks we don't say Shechionu, and even on Shabbos we don't say Shechionu, but when it comes to Sfidas Oimer, those 7 weeks of Sfidas Oimer we don't say Shechionu, but on Shabbos we do say Shechionu. Benirili.
Why is that?
Oh, so put the kash.
There's no.
I thought I had a pshat.
Shabbos.
I thought I had a pshat. After I learned this Magen Avraham, I realized I don't have a pshat. So I don't know.
According to Rebbe, 3 weeks Shabbos, 3 Shabbos during the Zorah, the holy Shabbos or Shabbos of the year, because it's not Zorah.
No, I don't know. Benirili. Nimchol Shiva also b'Tammuz b'Shabbos v'Nitche. In a kvius like this year, the Shiva also b'Tammuz is on Shabbos and it's Nitche, the fastest Sunday. Muter l'kulei alma. Even the Arizal will agree that you're allowed to on that Shabbos. In other words, we have a machloket. Everyone agrees. Yeah, everyone agrees that it's totally zor not to make Shechion on the 3 weeks. Everyone agrees. Shabbos, Shabbos. Some say yeah, some say not. Look at Shabbos. Some say yeah, some say not. The Tama Yisur. What's the reason of the Yisur? Nirali, Kivin das mana who was man Puronius, and Lavarach Shechion was man azeh. It's a time of Puronius, so you can't make a broch of Shechion l'zman azeh. Shechion is saying that today is a special zman. How could you pronounce that this is a special zman? It's a time of Puronius. Aval ein atam mishum avelus. That the time is not because of avelus. We never found that it should be also for Avel to say Shechionu. So how could you say it's because of Avelus? It's a din in Avelus.
Well, how did you compare this ace of Avel to ace of Faisal? Avel is one guy. This is the Gans Tzibur that's about Avelus. Maybe it's more chomer.
You could say that. He didn't say Ra'im Ochachas. He said Loi Matzinu. Loi Matzinu. He says, I never heard of such a thing, that it should be... In other words, the Sefer Chassidim said a din, it didn't say a reason. He said, don't say Shechion in the 3 weeks. So the shadow is why. So the Magen Avraham says, Loi Matzinu, that it's a thing in Avelus, nothing to do with Avelus. It's Mistaba, because you can't say these words, L'zman hazeh, to say, this is a special Zman. It's not a special Zman, it's a time of the Churban.
Except that on Shabbos we don't have no Avelus.
But this has nothing to do with Avelus. It's to do with it's a Zman of Puronius.
Even Shabbos is Zman of Puronius.
Yeah.
And Shabbos be a Zman of Puronius.
Could be. In the Vahoraya.
It's called Ham Mitzvah.
It's called
It's part of the 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one
So-
thing I can understand, that she was a B'Tamas and it, okay, but Tisha B'Av being an it, it's over already.
Yeah, it's a good try. It's not even part of it.
It's already
not part of
answered.
the 3 weeks.
It's
Right.
no more 3 weeks.
But
So
not-
why should we even
That's a
have
good
to
try.
fast?
Okay. That's a good question.
Taxos it should be a nitza all the way.
Yeah.
You're right,
It's
100%.
over. It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 3 weeks in one day.
In the afternoon, you're allowed to eat meat already, according to I mean the tenth.
Not
Right.
this year.
Not this year.
Not this year. We can't eat. Period.
Right. Not this year.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is the big chiddush of the Magen Avraham. That when the Arizal said, the Sefer Chassidim said, and the Chuvas Maril said not to say Shechionu in the 3 weeks.
Even Shabbos.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's because of Avelus. It has nothing to do with Avelus. It has nothing to do with Avelus. The truth is, if it was, it would be a big nafkamina if it was mitzad Avelus. Firstly, it's an interesting thing. The other Ephraim and the Gra. The Gra says, "What do you mean? It says befeidish a Gemara we learned that a person whose father passes away, he makes 2 brachas. One Daina Emes and the second one Shechionu for the Yerusha. So we see
If he has
also
one.
if he has Yerusha.
Isn't it Hatova?
Atov made if he has brothers, and Shechionu if he doesn't have brothers. Right. So we see that Aval could make Shechionu and he could make Atov Meitiv. So the Yad Ephraim says that raya from the Gra is not a slam dunk raya, because over there we already said ein machmitzim ala mitzvos, even if a fruit, if you think if the fruit is gonna get in the skalkel, we said that Amos said already, even a fruit, that you should not lose the.
He's not losing it. He can say it after the week of Avelis. He can say it the week after. Those months that he still has a simcha for the Yerusha, he can say the bracha, and he should really say when he's going to get the money. Doing the Avelis, he can't touch it. The week after the Avelis is when he's first touching it.
You made a very good point. Maybe that's taka, the nekudas of the difference between the Gra and the Magen Avraham. The Alter Rebbe Paskins. And Kimdamani the Gra Paskins Nishta Azoi, but some Chloikis, that if you didn't make Shechianu right away on the fruit, you lost your Shechianu. Everything with Shechianu, if you didn't make it the first time, you lost the Shechianu.
Right. It's like you said, once we spoke,
right? But the others doesn't hold that way. They don't. There's no such thing as you lost the Shechianu. You can make it the second time, the third, the fourth. You can make it
even
later
if you're not happy. There's always that cage.
If you're not happy anymore, you can.
That's happy. You know what
I'm saying, maybe you're right. The Gra said, what do you mean? Why is he making the Shechianu the day his father died? Let him wait 7 days.
Yeah.
But the Magen Avraham says that that's not a raya, because the Magen Avraham probably holds like the Alter Rebbe, that if you didn't make the Shechianu right away, you lost the Shechianu. So say that's why the Ovel makes Shechianu, because otherwise he's going to lose it. So that's not a raya for anything.
Right.
That's, you could say that's l'shitose, therefore it's not a raya. Let's go to the next Magen Avraham. V'lo yachmetz ha-mitzvah oy ha-broche v'afagav ksheroye pri chodesh machmetz ha-broche. Every time you see a pri chodesh, you don't make a shechionu, you right away you lost, you were machmetz, you didn't make the broche. Mekol mokem, he says kine shenogol hamten achas achila lo miskire machmetz ha-broche ayin semeresh chafei. Our minig is that we don't say shechionu when we see the fruit. We only make shechionu when we eat the fruit. The original din in the Gemara is that we made shechionu when they saw the fruit. The Alter Rebbe explains why. Those days, people were not so they were not such so into themselves. They were so excited to see that the nature is blooming, so they felt happy. But bizman hazeh, not everyone's so happy until they actually eat the fruit. When they eat the fruit, you know, some people like to have pictures, beautiful pictures of nature. Other people, if they're not in the picture, they don't. So
we take a selfie. We're in the selfie.
We're in the selfie. Where presidents and heads of states are taking selfies.
Selfie.
Even people that are jumping off buildings, you have today, people are jumping off buildings and then the parachute's gone. They have both directions.
Yeah.
The selfies even come from their feet.
Yeah. So in a generation of selfies.
Or selfishing.
Yeah.
Selfishing.
Exactly, selfishy. So in a generation of selfishy, so b'meila, what's nageya? He's not besimcha that the fruit is growing on the tree. Once he eats it, then he's besimcha. So that's what the Alter Rebbe explains. So therefore, zman that we anyway don't make shechionu until we eat it. The Alter Rebbe says if you make shechionu when you see it and you're genuinely happy, you will yoytze the bracha shechionu. However, that's not called machmitzim ala mitzvah, because anyway, our minig is not to make shechionu until we eat it. Let's continue. Shalo yimtza. Ladasa matirim v'Shabbos. Even though, what do you mean? Let him put the fruit away till Shabbos. Sarech loyma shagam v'Shabbos eine benimtza. V'mikacheu b'chol v'shmereu l'Shabbos yiskalkol kagon gudgonius katanas. The gudgonius katanas are, I guess in Europe they were very available, little cherries. So they didn't have refrigerators. He said, if you see it, and even today you have a refrigerator. If you take a cherry and you put it in the refrigerator on Sunday,
Not that, it doesn't stay that good.
yeah, it doesn't. It could even.
They don't give you all the fresh ones together and mix them up.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's why you find like a few of them get
They're
like.
horrible looking. Yeah.
That's what it is. But they come from the same tree at the same time.
Yeah, but they don't care. A lot of places don't care. It's interesting. They don't sift out the bed. Some of them are mamash rotten.
So yeah. So therefore, that's what he's saying. That's why you can make it a Shabbos. No, some of them will get rotten. By the time you wait till Shabbos, it'll get rotten. Okay.
parish are we in?
The Magen Avraham. I underlined all the things in the Magen Avraham. Then it's interesting the Shari Tshuva, which we can't learn inside because the copy didn't come out good. So he says a woman who is muberes, so she chas v'shalom, if that woman has a craving, she has to eat the pri chodesh, no matter what. Elamai is a machloika, she should eat the pri chodesh and say shechianu, or she should eat the pri chodesh and not make shechianu.
On a fast day or
No,
any day
in the 3 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So a woman who's pregnant, she has a craving for pri chodesh, so she should definitely eat the pri chodesh. The shaila is if she should make the shechianu or not make the shechianu. I would say it depends. If you're saying that it's an Indian avelus, so what's the difference if you make the bracha or not? As long as you're eating the fruit, so might as well make already shechianu. You're not keeping the avelus. If you're saying the chisaron doesn't say the bracha, the word shechianu is manazeh, so by not making the bracha, you could gain something. Then stamazay, I have a shaila. There's a machloikas of hoiskim. The Gemara says, "Ano nama ekre chadet mevorech." It's a Gemara in Eidevin we once learned it Daf Mem. The Gemara says that's only the shus. To make an anu fruit is only the shus. The Alter Rebbe paskins it's not the shus. It's choiva. When the Gemara said it's the shus is when you see the fruit, but when you eat the fruit it's a choiva. So Lamanda Omar that it's reshus. That's a machloikis. Some say to make a shechion on a new fruit is a reshus. So what's the big deal? If I see, why is it? What's the problem? So if I have a new fruit, I'm just gonna eat it and not make shechionu. That's it. Elamai, according to the Alter Rebbe, you understand, because the Alter Rebbe holds that it's a choiv to make the bracha shechion.
Where does it say that it's not a choiv?
Because the Gemara says in Daf Mem, in Eidevin, that it's a reshus. So the Alter Rebbe says that the reshus is when you see the fruit, but when you eat the fruit, it's choiv.
Does anyone else say that too?
Yeah, the Shilta Geboidim, no. Shilta Geboidim says that. Riyaz, it's Risha. But not everyone agrees with that. Okay, let's look
You
up.
see that the shechion that you make when you get a Yerusha, you're not getting it with oil.
Right,
Right, it says when you hear it.
right, when you hear about
Why should it be different?
it. Look at me what?
You're not getting it in your hands at the time, you're just hearing about it. So it's doing it to Smiya
Right.
of a favorite, of a breed.
Yeah, but
It's a Shemea Sheyesh Le Yerusha.
here he hears that he's getting it. When he sees the fruit on the tree,
Oh, of that, he's
yeah,
gonna eat it.
yeah, he's even gonna.
And then he won't make another shechion right once he eats it. He made it sort of a tree.
Yeah,
So why would you make a shechion just sitting on the tree if you're not eating it?
because it's a big anor to see that the world is chadash and there's new fruits.
Not getting it. If it's in your orchard, maybe I understand.
No, that's what the Alter Rebbe says. And even though Medina the Gemara, the brach is when you see it, but that was in those days. But was manazeh when we eat it. That's what we make. 'Cause that's when we have an offer.
Maybe also because in those days when you would see the fruit on the tree, so you knew you were also getting enough from it. In other words, you knew your portion
Oh,
was
it's more
awesome.
like here's.
It was an agricultural society, so when you saw it, it was hanot to you. Otherwise, just seeing the fruit on someone else's tree.
What about this when we make the bracha on
You know
the
what
The
I'm saying?
farmer sees in his
Farmer
thing.
sees in his thing, so it's already-
It's besimcha.
Yeah, Mashiach over here where he's getting
Just
it.
like the guy with the rain.
That's why today.
Only the farmers make the brach on the
exactly,
rain.
exactly.
That's why we don't. They're not rogel to make the brach on rain because we're not farmers. The farmers they make a brach. A regular person also is nana from the fact there's rain, but it's not so close.
Personal, yeah.
Let's look at one more halacha.
Fancy.
Siman, this is the same siman just earlier in the siman. So sif hey vav and zayin. Also livrius l'chabes begodim akdim b'shavua zeh. Kelim chadashim bein labanim bein tzvoim bein shal tzam bein shal pishtan asur lilbush b'shabbat zeh. In this week of of Tisha B'Av, you're not allowed to wear begodim chadoshim. We're machmir from Reish Chodesh not to wear begodim chadoshim.
The 9 days.
In the 9 days. In this week, in other words, not only totally kelim chadoshim, even to be metaken.
Oh, we give it to the cleaners or fix it?
Yeah.
He says Shabbos Day means in the week of.
The week of, yeah. And even though the Mechaber holds that these things like eating meat is only also on the week of Tisha B'Av. The Ashkenazim, which go like that Amah, we from all 9 days. But on this thing of Begodim Chadoshim, even the Mechaber agrees all 9 days. Why?
Well, he's going to say even the
Because-
Ashkenazim agrees,
Exactly. But why? Because because say the Mefarshim, because here it's a Mishanichnas Av Memata Mesimcha, and this thing of Begodim Chadoshim Mesimcha, meat, not eating meat is in order to torture yourself. So Inui, Kibbutz, all these things is a din and torture. So where do you torture yourself? Only the week of Tisha B'Av. And Ashkenazim are machmer also from all 9 days. But when it comes to Kelim Chadoshim is not to torture yourself. It's not a question of torturing yourself. It's because the Mishnah says Mishnichnas av memata mesimcha. So when you buy Kelim Chadoshim and you put on Kelim Chadoshim, Begodim Chadoshim, it's simcha. So that's so Mamela Ashkenazim Sfardim Mechaber Amah. When it comes to putting on Begodim Chadoshim, Kelim Chadoshim, all 9 days are awesome. All 9 days are awesome.
unless you need you have no other shirts.
Well,
Right?
that we're not talking about Mechubos. Here we're talking about Chadosh. We're talking about
Not
Mechubos.
with the boss. I'm saying
Chodesh
that
Chodesh.
yeah,
New thing.
you have 3 shirts and they're dirty and you need to get another shirt. You can't go to the cleaners. You can't buy a shirt. I'm saying it depends. That's not considered a simcha. That's considered a necessity.
I hear you, Taina. So
No,
let's.
I mean, I've heard that explained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't you wash?
You
one
put
of
it on the floor or something because that's
shirts?
not new. You know, you put on the floor.
So yeah, like you said, wash it with
Take
cold
one of
water
your 3
and.
shirts and put it in the sink and wash it
I'm
yourself.
just telling you, there's plenty of tips where you can't do it at that moment and you need a shirt. You go into a meeting or something and you got schwitz, you walk.
No. So
Going
the
to a
truth is,
meeting
we'll get to that. in a
Okay,
second.
so it's
Maybe
still
it's
rubbish. I'm saying that's why there are a group. There's
We'll get to the. So the Morgan Avram, the copy didn't come out good. He says that. Yeah, he says. Ve'elach, daim var shachane k'mach kazos men suf yud zayin. Zeh mach kazos shon shav shari levarech im kein mutelel besh chadashim shabas ben metzarim. He says the Bach holds that all 3 weeks you're not allowed to have Begodim Chadoshim. It's also all 3 weeks. So he says, yeah, okay, so just like over there we said Shabbos is mutter, so even the Bach, it says all 3 weeks is also. So the next line is, Ina mi jamayde shakoni beregid metukim kamashu uberech shechionu b'shas kniya koidem yud zayin tamas doz mutter lilbush beina metzarim. So in other words, it's bothering the Magen Avraham is like this. What's the difference between the Isur that we have for Begodim Chadoshim in the 3 weeks and the 9 days? We said all 3 weeks you're not allowed to have Begodim Chadoshim. So what's the difference between the Begodim Chadoshim and the 3 weeks and the 9 days? So he says the difference is that in the 3 weeks it's also to say Shechionu. But we paskin that when you say Shechionu, when you buy the beged. So what's if you buy the beged and you put it in the shelf and you didn't start wearing it yet? So in the 3 weeks you're allowed to wear it because you're not making the bracha Shechionu. You're not making the bracha Shechionu. But in the 9 days, it's also to put on the beged. So again, understand the kasha? The Magen Avraham is bothered. We said that it's totally zohar not to have the Shechionu for a beged chodesh all 3 weeks. So what's the chiddush that it's also to have Begodim Chadoshim in the 9 days?
They're part of the 3 weeks.
So one teretz is pashut because in the 3 weeks it's only a zehirus. And the 9 days, it's a Isur, and it's a Mishnah for Eshes in Yerushalmi. It's part of the din of Mimata Mesimcha. But the second teretz is giving that in the 3 weeks, it's also to say the word Shechianu. But if you already said Shechianu when you bought it in the store, so even though it's a new beged and you never wore it, you're allowed to put it on. But in the 9 days, you're not allowed to put on a beged chodesh. That's
Even
the
if you
answer.
made the Supreme already.
Yeah. That's the difference between the 3 weeks and the 9 days. So again, if you bought a beged and you made Shechianu right when you bought it, like the Magen Avram holds, that you mechuyev to make a bracha right when you buy the beged, and that's the way the Alter Rebbe Pascha is not like the Taz. So you mechuyev right when you buy the beged. The Welt doesn't feel it today. I don't know why. But the point, the din is the Magen Avram, the Alter Rebbe Paschins, that when you buy a beged chodesh, that's when you make Shechianu. So the Magen Avram is saying, so in the 3 weeks you're allowed to put on the beged, but in the 9 days you're not allowed to put on the beged. So why? Why? So if you put together the other Magen Avram with this Magen Avram, you understand very well. Because in the 9 days you're not allowed to wear a new beged because it gives you simcha. So what's the difference if you say the word Shechianu, you don't say the word Shechianu? If you put on a new beged, it gives you simcha. You're not allowed to do it. But in the 3 weeks, the Magen Avram holds that it's not a problem of avelis. What's the problem? The problem is you're not allowed to say these words Shechianu, V'kimonu, Gemonu, L'zman Hazeh, when these 3 weeks are your days of Puronius. Not allowed to even give a few patch to the Talmidim. And you have to be careful when you walk out on the street in these 3 weeks.
Which hours are those?
Whatever hours. But you have to, we see that there is an Indian of Puronius. So therefore you can't say Shechianu L'zman Hazeh. Okay. So
If
again,
if I put new beged, I have a wedding in a month. I didn't wear it. I can say Shechianu when I wear it another month, or I have to say Shechianu now.
you have to say it when you buy it. But if you didn't say when you buy it, then you put it when you make Shechianu when you put it on the first time. The Welt feels today that they only make Shechianu when they put it on. I don't know why. The din is
Because you also make a malbish of rumi. Aren't there some that say you make it also a malbish?
Mal B'Shalom. The Alter Rebbe says because it's machlokes and it's only Yerushalmi, you should put it on in the morning, and when you make Mal B'Shalom in the morning, you have in mind for that.
That's why it makes sense to make the Shechianu when you wear it. Because it's the cushion to that room.
No, either way, you should put on. If you went to the store and you bought and you made Shechianu right and you buy it, you don't make Mal B'Shalom. Yeah, you
Right.
put it on.
Right.
So, but when you
just
put it
said that-
on,
Right. But you
No,
say
he
that
says
there's
you
a
should put it
kesher to
on.
the two brachas, aren't there? No. That's really when you feel a simcha when you're about to wear it. You don't know for all you know there could be moths that ate at it, or it's not your size, it's not 100%. It's classic when you put it on, you feel that it's the right thing.
So that's what we spoke about once. The Ohr HaChaim says the whole bracha of Shechianu is that a person, the Eibusha gave him money, and when they can use it for a doctor's bill, that's not a pleasure. Baruch Hashem, you use it for a good thing, so you say Shechianu. So it makes sense. Shechianu making should be right with the
It's
kids.
even more happy then.
Yeah. So again, just to summarize what the Magen Avram says. The Magen Avram says that there's a difference between not wearing begadim chadoshim in the 3 weeks and the 9 days. In the 9 days, you're not allowed to have simcha. You're not allowed to put on a beged chodesh. But if you already make Shechianu, I don't care. You're not allowed to put on a beged chodesh. But in the 3 weeks, it's not because you're not allowed to have simcha. In the 3 weeks, you're not allowed to say the word Shechianu because these weeks are the Yemei Peronius. So if you already made Shechianu before, no problem. Yeah, you understand the... Why am I explaining
You're
it?
not allowed to have simcha with oil during the 3 weeks.
Not the same like the 9 days. Only we say Shnichnas Av and Mat and the Simcha. So this thing of mute Simcha and Avelus is really for the 9 days. And the 3 weeks is Yemei Peronius. What's the idea of Yemei Peronius? These are days that are dangerous days. There's a certain energy in these days. Mashiach will come with Afke Faked. It'll be Nishapach Liyom Toivim. Adarabah. The energy that the Toiv Me'oid the Malach HaMavis. The Malach HaMavis is going to become the better Faket is going to become the Toiv Me'oid. Malach HaChaim is Toiv. But the Malach HaMavis is going to turn into Toiv Me'oid.
In other words, the reason you don't say the Shechianu is you don't want to say Shechianu to reach this time, because this is the bad times.
Excellent. And what's the nafkamina? What's the nafkamina? What says the Magen Avram? If you already said Shechianu, so therefore, if you already said Shechianu in the 9 days, I don't care you said Shechianu, you're not allowed to put on a new beged.
But 3 weeks doesn't
3 weeks.
matter.
Why am I kvetching so much on this Magen Avram? Because this, I think, is the key to answer a very common question. Am I allowed to go shopping in the 3 weeks? Women ask, am I allowed to go online? Am I'm allowed to buy on Amazon, I'm allowed to buy begodim. And also in the three, and in Lubavitch, it's more of a question. You know,
You sell on
it's-
Amazon.
No, all 7 weeks. Exactly. Exactly. So they all 7 weeks. Svidus Oimer. It's so many weeks in the year. So Lanius Daiti, based on the Megon Avram, it's mutter. Why is it mutter? Because what is the Megon Avram saying? That the whole problem is saying the word Shechionu. As man as that, we are not noyek to say Shechionu Amos Begodim. We don't make Shechionu Amos Begodim. It's very rare that we make Shechionu. Remember the story with the Frierdiker Rebbe? I told we had the shear, the footer mantle for the Ezra's Noshim. The story of Ben Sichana with his uncle. So it's I don't think it's a problem to go shopping for begodim in the weeks of Svidus Omer, and the same thing in the 3 weeks. In the 9 days for Shteitzach also, but in the 3 weeks it's mutter. Why?
What you're saying only in things that you don't make a shechianu.
Things you don't make Shechianu. Why? Why don't we make the bracha Shechianu? It's a suffix to us. It's a suffix to us. If really, is it choshev or not choshev? So when it comes in the 9 days, how could you be mekel? You're not memat and mesimcha. So maybe it's not choshev. Maybe it is choshev. So how could you go by? It's asur. It's a din of Shulchan Aruch. Maybe it's not choshev. What do you mean maybe? And maybe it is choshev. Who gives you the right to go in the store and buy? But when it comes to the 3 weeks, the problem is only to say the word shechionu v'kimonu. So since we have a suffix and we don't say the word shechionu, I don't see a problem in going to buy, and I don't see a problem in going to put it on. So I think Lamai. Later I looked at Piskei Teshuvos, I see not all Achronim agree. There's some contemporary Shabbos Teshuvos say not. But I'm saying Lanius Daiti.
Yeah, most are trying to say not.
So I'm just saying Lanius
Nowadays,
Daiti.
they're very much in the States.
Right, but I'm saying Lanius Daiti. Versteht sich, Yerushalayim should try to, but you know, it's like for women it's very hard. They go shopping for their kids and all the sales and this.
Exactly.
It's very hard for me and you. So if you have to buy pants or suit, don't do it in the Svira and don't do it in the 3 weeks. It's very easy to
How
say.
about swimming?
Wait a second. But so, yeah, we didn't get to that. One second. But the but they most of the women do buy it on sale anyway, because why not? It's gonna go on sale. And during the 3 weeks, usually when it's on sale, because the kids they already bought for the summer.
Right.
So most of the stuff they're buying is for the summer, and the stuff that they and if you and I mean it's just the reality. You're not gonna put it on now anyway. You're not buying it for now. You're buying it for a different time.
Right. Right. That's why I think it should be mutter. It'd be one more nakuda. We said mishnichnas memat mesimcha. So we must. You can't talk about this without talking about the Chassidish Pshat. That mishnichnas memat. How are you memat with the negative energy of besimcha? Mishnichnas adar marbin. How are you marba with the happy stuff of chodesh adar besimcha? It's always the key is always simcha. If you want to be memat and put on ears, add simcha. You want to be marba the good stuff of adar, add simcha. The key is always simcha. Adar the answer is simcha, and av the answer is simcha.
Swimming, 3 weeks we cannot swim. Starting, we don't swim only in Shavuot Shechal.
Those are 9 days. So with Ashkenazim, it's only the 9
It's
days.
not 9 days.
Only the 9
How about
days.
Shavuot Shechal?
Yeah, this week.
That's the difference of Sfardim and Ashkenazim. But that's what I'm saying. By Begodim is a Chiddush. That Machaber says, the Osur l'takem Begodim Chadoshim v'yesh la'achma merosh chodesh. That's the one exception. Because the bathing is and taking going into swimming pool is an inyan of pleasure. So the Sfardim say, let's not torture ourselves too much. Just the week of Tisha B'Av is enough. Ashkenazim like to torture themselves a little more. But when it comes to Begodim Chadoshim, which is a B'mat and B'simcha, so then everyone agrees from Reish Chodesh Av, B'mat and
See,
B'simcha.
but slippers, starting is different. They start a month before. Ashkenazim start week before.
Yeah.
So we exactly the opposite.
Yeah. So it's good to
Somebody
be
asked
in
me
the
why-
9 days. It's good to be a
Why
Sfardi.
is Sfardim saying month before? We have so many Averas. Ashkenazim 1 week. I said, no, we're doing all the slippers. Ashkenazim. Why don't they?
Good David should hope that this year it should be Nichnas Av, we should be Memayit,
I'm gonna.
and all the women should find good closeouts for all their Kinderlach,
Amen.
and buy them Gesundheit, the Kiva Shenitche, Yidach El Agamri.
Amen. That's by the